no points in 3 out of 4 games on this road trip. Final verdict? Unacceptable! Islanders lose yet again to another Western Conference team by the score of 2-1. Wait a minute. The Islanders scored a goal? I know. Surprising, right? Oh, good Lord, have mercy. This team needs so much help, so desperately in terms of scoring. This team does not have enough scoring talent. Anders Lee is struggling. Jordan Eberle is struggling. Brock Nelson is struggling. But Anthony Beauvillier scored tonight. And yet he's the only one who knows goals. Especially on this Western Conference road trip, where goals have been more hard to find than the damn Loch Ness Monster. Are the Islanders like that damn Loch Ness Monster going to every game asking everyone, "Need about tree Fiddy?"
Well, it was about that time that I noticed
this Islanders team
was about 8 stories tall and was a crustacean from the Patagonia.
The Loch Ness Monster.
I said, damn it, monster, get off my lawn. I ain't giving you no tree Fiddy.
If the Islanders can't get tree Fiddy, do they ask for just 2 Fiddy?
What is that, sale on Loch Ness Munchies or something?
Lord, he was angry.
Damn right I was angry.
Thank you, parents of Chef, for actually clearing that whole thing up, because I don't know how I'd be able to go on without you guys telling the story about the Loch Ness Monster, who sounds oddly similar and very resemblant to the New York Islanders. You'd have to think Barry Trotz's head is going to explode with the lack of goal scoring coming from this team. But Lou Lamoriello seems content with just goal differential. Too bad in the last 3 games, goal differential has been against us! However, Lou Lamoriello did make a trade yesterday on Sunday. He made a trade since he made the acquisition for Matt Martin back in July of 2018. He acquired, drum roll please, Andy Green from the New Jersey Devils, a 37-year-old defenseman, for prospect David Quinville and a 2021 second-round pick. How much term does Andy Green have left? He is a rental. Now, overall, I did like this trade, but there needs to be a whole lot more. We can't just be content with just Andy Green. Although tonight against the Coyotes, Andy Green played a very solid defensive game, and he helped to score the only goal the Islanders scored tonight. I will say this, having Andy Green on this squad defensively really helps. Even though it's only 1 game, he still brought an injection of leadership and of a good defensive game that this team has been missing since Adam Pelech got hurt. But like I said, this team needs more than just Andy Green to help them out. They need a top 9 forward, whether it's a center or a winger, I don't care. We need that help, because if this is the current squad that's going in, the way they've been struggling offensively, they'll be out of the playoff picture in no time. Speaking of which, on Tuesday, tomorrow actually, the Philadelphia Flyers and the Columbus Blue Jackets square off against each other, and whoever wins that game will basically be putting the Islanders in a wild card spot. And then those 2 same teams will be going at it again with each other on Thursday. And if the Islanders don't win against Colorado and basically get swept on this Western Conference road trip, they'll probably be out of the playoff picture, if anything. I hope not, but that's how it's looking right now, especially when the Islanders don't collect 6 points or something close to that on this road trip for that matter. The Islanders have one enemy. It's not their GM, it's not their coach, it's not the other teams, and it's certainly not the fans. It's themselves. They shoot themselves in the foot each game with all these pathetic passing attempts to create the perfect shot instead of shooting the puck like they should. They have plenty of opportunities and they don't take them. Their power play is anemic. It's absolutely horrifyingly awful, and for the love of God, they don't capitalize. They have no finishers. They can't finish their shots. They shoot, and then when a juicy rebound comes up, they ignore it or they just don't get it. It's something they need to desperately work on. on, because this is going to be the death of this team. The Islanders are their own worst enemy. They actually had a shot tonight against Arizona. Too bad they decided to give up juicy rebounds and not shoot enough. And next game is in Colorado, and Colorado is one hell of a team. I don't know if the Islanders can pull through in that game, even though it's a must-win game. Actually, today was a must-win game for the Islanders, but if they don't win against Colorado, that'll be a 4-game sweep and the second West Coast road trip that they've lost. They lost against San Jose in overtime, but they actually got a point. They lost against Anaheim in Anaheim and against LA in LA. And they've recently lost against Nashville in Nashville, Vegas in Vegas, Arizona in Arizona. And if they lose to Colorado in Colorado, it's going to spell disaster. The Islanders have trouble beating teams in the Western Conference on the road. Teams the Islanders have lost to in the Western Conference on the road are San Jose, but at least they got a point in that game because they lost in overtime. LA, Anaheim, Dallas, Nashville, Chicago, Vegas, and Arizona. They've lost against virtually every one of them with the exception of Minnesota and Winnipeg. Those are the only two Western Conference teams that this Islanders team has beaten on the road. That's not good at all, people. That is not good. The Islanders still have Colorado, St. Louis, Calgary, Edmonton, and Vancouver to face on the road. Obviously not all in the same road trip, but at different points in the season. Will they beat those teams? Hell, I don't know. I hope they do, but if they don't, it'll just say that this team can't beat a Western Conference team on the road, with the exception of 2. And I'll be counting how many teams they've lost against and won against. We'll just see what happens, but right now, we have to look forward to a possible move tomorrow and the game against Colorado at 10 on Wednesday. So, we'll just see how things go. The Islanders can't keep giving up points like this. So far, they've already given up 6 on this current road trip. They've given up a lot of valuable points. And if they don't win against Colorado to get that one set of 2 points, it's really going to spell disaster because 1, they won't get any points on this road trip. 2, it'll be a complete failure of a road trip. And 3, they could possibly be out of a playoff picture before their game against the hapless Detroit Red Wings, who the Islanders could possibly make look like a legitimate playoff team. By the way, after the game against the Detroit Red Wings, that Saturday, there's going to be a live show because that's the 60-game mark, and I always do a live show after certain points of the season. The next live show this Saturday coming up, I've still yet to determine a time, but this Saturday after the game against the Detroit Red Wings will be another hour-long live show. And be sure to listen for what time the show will go live. I'll probably reveal the time either after the game against Colorado or against Detroit. I've yet to figure that out yet, but if another trade happens, there will be a live video right after that trade happens, depending on what time during the week. But the point being is, if before the 60-game mark there's a trade, I will go live. If there isn't, I'll go live after the 60-game mark. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching the Risorto Report, Isles Recap Edition. I am your most gracious host. Have you not been blessed with my presence, Greg Risorto? And I will see you after the game against the Colorado Avalanche. Please remember to like this video. Comment down below if you liked it or not. Please subscribe, share it with everybody you know all over the World Wide Web. Follow me on Facebook at the Risorto Report. Follow me on Twitter. Links in the description. And as always, let's go Islanders.